So, Tales from Set. Now, I'm going to give you 5 stories, and you have to all decide as a panel whether they are true, things that happened to me on the set of Trainspotting 2, or whether they are false. Now, the reason we're playing this game is because this was genuinely the most bizarre, most fun shoot of my entire life as an actor so far. It was absolutely, it was just incredible, the things that happened. So, here are your 5 statements. Now, I'll read them all out. I'll read out the 5 statements. I'll then explain all 5 statements. I'll tell you the story. And then after that, you can then go through them all and we can vote true or false. Okay? So, number 1, I was the only person dressed as a sailor because of scenes that were cut. Number 2, I danced while Begbie stared me down. Number 3, a supporting artist or extra on set disappeared and was never heard from again. Number 4, I got a head nod from Obi-Wan Kenobi. And number 5, the best moment that I've ever had on set happened on this rainy night at 2 a.m. in the Cowgate of Edinburgh. So, number 1. So I was the only one dressed as a sailor. Now, for a bit of context, right? So this Trainspotting 2 happened very, very early on in my acting career, right? So this is very early on. And my agent at the time phoned me up and said, look, they're filming Trainspotting 2 in Edinburgh. They're doing this massive scene in a nightclub. And they're going to be packing the place full of like 2,000 members of the public who have won a competition. But they're also wanting to employ some actors, some supporting artists or extras to kind of pad out the scene who know what they're doing. And also you're actually going to be taken upstairs and filmed like some indoor shots and filmed some exterior scenes as well. So that was how it was sold to me. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. So I go to the costume fitting, which happens about 2 weeks before. And the costume lady takes one look at me and goes, sailor. And she gets this sailor outfit, tight fitting. I mean, honestly, you could see everything. It was tight fitting, and she said, and I remember, she said, "You'll be one of the sailors." And I was like, "All right, okay, fair enough." And to this day, I hadn't known what happened, and it wasn't until I actually started doing prep work for this episode that I worked out what happened. Now, most of my scenes were cut because a whole storyline was cut. Because in the nightclub scene, there's a reason why everyone's dressed the way they are, because it was supposed to double as both an 80s themed night in the present, but also the actual 1980s. They were going to do some cut betweens, because things like Ian Bell from Outlander, he was playing a young Spud. He was there, and a bunch of other people were there playing younger versions of all the characters. So I don't know what I was supposed to be, whether I was supposed to be an actual sailor who was on leave or something in the 80s, whatever, or I was just a guy randomly dressing like this in an 80s theme night out. No idea. Anyway, I get there, and whatever happened in the 2 weeks, don't know, because I turn up, I go in, get changed, come out, and everyone else is literally dressed like they're up for a night out. Like what white t-shirt, jeans. At best they've got double denim on, and there's me rocking out in this bright white sailor outfit, and everyone just bursts out laughing at me. I'll never forget that. Anyway,
to be fair, there is always that one guy on a night out where it takes it that far. So.
Exactly.
Well, that one guy always brings the party, though.
Yes, there you go.
And Craig always does.
Yeah. Yeah. So, number 2, I danced while Begbie stared me down. So, this was the first thing that we did. So we got taken upstairs. Now, this is a nightclub I know quite well because I was a student in Edinburgh. And I loved this nightclub. It had a cheesy dance floor, which was the best place to be on a night out in Edinburgh. So we got taken up to the cheesy dance floor, and this is where we're going to do like our scenes without all the public. So the public were getting brought in downstairs and kind of getting shuffled in. We were doing our scenes upstairs. So the first thing we did, we would come in, and then this big strapping 6'5" guy comes in and goes, "Right, everyone, we're going to learn a dance." I was like, "Are we? All right." So we get taught this like choreographed dance number. And again, it's all cut. The most you see in the film is it's the song, you know, when you hear the song, "And that's the way it is." That song, right? So there was a whole choreographed dance routine to this. And all you see really in the film is us going like down and then jumping back up again. So we get taught this dance in like 15, 20 minutes. And then Robert Carlyle gets brought in and gets plugged right down. This was a really funny scene. I don't know why they cut it, because like it was a really good scene because they filmed us do this dance, and they just filmed Begbie, who'd been in prison for 20 years, just kind of looking at us and going, "What the fuck are these guys doing?" And it was so funny. But it was like me, and then Robert Carlyle, and he was just staring at me as I was doing this dance routine. And he was in characters. It was fucking terrifying. It was fucking terrifying. So yeah, he was just staring at me as I was doing this dance routine. Anyway, number 3, one of my personal favourites. An essay supporting artist extra disappeared from set and was never heard from again. So this was happening while we were rehearsing the dance routine, right? So when you're on these things, you kind of get like a group of friends that you kind of like go around the set with, like, you know, like for the day. So this is one of the guys who I'd been chatting away to, right? I mean, we're just standing next to each other. We're doing the dance, and you know, Danny Boyle walks in, and he kind of is looking around, kind of surveying the scene, and he looks, and then he does a little like that, and then he leans over to one of the crew members and whispers in his ear. And I shit you not, this is how this happened. Okay, I'm telling you, this is how this happened. I talked to this guy who I've become pals with, and I kind of do a few more steps. I turn back, and he's gone. He's gone, vanished. We never knew what happened to him. We don't know why he was taken, but he was gone. And I remember thinking at the time, like, Danny Boyle's a freaking mafia boss, man. I better get these steps right. Fucking hell.
Wait, hold on, Craig. Did he disappear or was he taken?
Who knows? Who knows, man? To this day, I don't know. Like, it was literally that quick. I looked, I did some dance routine, I looked back, nothing. Gone. Never knew what happened. And we were all talking about it for the rest of the time. We didn't have a clue what happened to him. Number 4, I got head over from Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is when we all got brought downstairs to join the members of the public. And this was, it was so cool. It was like 2,000 people there. And we all sang Queen together. That scene was so much fun. It was so much fun. And this was when Ewan McGregor was kind of walking towards Johnny Lee Miller. And he was doing his walkthrough. He was going to get rehearsed. Had like 2 security guards beside him. He was like getting walked through the dance floor. And I'm just kind of standing there kind of waiting for things to happen. And he's walking past me. And I can see, he clocks me, because I'm dressed like a fucking sailor. He clocks me, and he looks me up and down, gives me like a little head nod as if to say, "We've all been there, mate," and then and then just walks on. Oh, anyway. And then number 5, and this is it. This is the one. So the best one that I ever had on set happened on this shoot. Right. So after all the dance stuff had happened, we do the exterior scene. So this is when, you know, when Begbie chases renting out the club. So that most of that got cut, by the way. So again, this was my actual scene. This is why I was there. So I was given me and a group of people were given this scene, and I'd never spoke to these guys yet on the set yet. They're just random people that I've been put with, and the plan was that we were going to walk around, go up that steep cobbled hill, and then talk to the bouncers and go, "Hey, let us in, etc., and then we go in. And as this is happening, that's when Begbie chases renting out the club. Yeah, so that was done with stand-ins because this was like a normal night out in Edinburgh, right? So this was like Friday or Saturday. So there was members of the public just like walking about the Cowgate. So they have to barrier off the Cowgate. There's just members of the public just kind of like looking over and what the hell's going on. So they have to use stand-ins. So what happens is we get to our first starting point, and you know, we're kind of just chatting away. We do the first take. We come back, and collectively as a group, we kind of all notice that there's one guy who is acting a bit off. We don't know what's wrong with him, but there's something not right about him. And we're just kind of all kind of silently kind of go, what's going on? And then we go again. We do take number 2, cut, come back. And again, we're just kind of like looking at him. And then I kind of notice, he's holding a beer bottle. And at the time, I remember just thinking, he's just got a proper beer bottle. That's fine. And then we go again. Take 3, cut, come back. And this is it. We all kind of collectively go, no. This guy is pissed. This guy is completely off his face. And then again, though, still at this point, we were kind of half of us were kind of like, is he just really committed? Is he like doing a bit of method acting here? Because honestly, just gone. Take 4. We go again, cut, come back. And then out of nowhere, this big, massive security guard comes in, grabs the guy, hauls him away, chucks him over the barrier back to his pals. It had been a member of the public that had snuck in. And so they climbed over the barrier. He joined the group. Now, he was wearing like a t-shirt and jeans. So if anything, I'm the guy who looks out of place in this group. So he kind of comes in and literally he survived for 4 takes. There's 4 takes of that film with this random drunk guy doing this scene with us and back again. And honestly, I mean, I'll give you this one for free, guys. That is absolutely true. It was one of the best moments of my entire life. I will remember that moment till the day I die. It was so funny.